It is the Kabbalah that the Holy One contemplated all the possibilities and probabilities of what could happen if she, the Blessed Holy One, were no longer lonely, meaning what would happen if the unified light were no longer contained within the outer vessel, and what would happen if that light, which would no longer be unified light but become refracted light, were no longer contained within the inner vessel that had been contained within the outer vessel. The understanding of this Kabbalah is found in the Aggadah, where it is written, corresponding to the 7 heavens, God created 7 earths, each separated from the next by 5 layers. It is in this Aggadah where we find the understanding of the Holy One contemplated all the possibilities and probabilities of what could happen, because each time the Holy One contemplated, a complementary heaven and earth were created. And it is here, in this Kabbalah of the Aggadah, where faith and science meet. For faith and science are not opposed to one another. Faith and science are complements of the other. But be that as it may, why should the Holy One have been concerned enough to contemplate 6 times before the 7th heaven and earth were created? This is the mystery of the 5 layers contained within each of the 6 separations between the 7 heavens and earths. This is the mystery of the sacred number 11, the sphere dot. It is dot that the Holy One had to contemplate before embarking upon the creation of the 7th heaven and earth. And when the Holy One contemplated no more, dot was cast out of the tree of life, which is the sacred number 110. And dot was then cast out into darkness, for dot is dark knowledge, which is to say, dark light. This is what the Torah means when she says, and Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. For the Holy One requires the restoration of dot back into the tree of life during the tikkun, in order to neutralize the dark inclination from the cosmos, which many call evil. This leads us to the mystery of the 6 separations, each containing 5 layers mentioned in the Aggadah. The revelation of the creation of the sphere Tifereth, as I now explain in the name of Rabbi Isaac Luria of blessed memory. Malchut transformed herself into a new entity after the Tikkun, and she became the new entity sovereignty. And sovereignty merited a complete entity would be created from her, even though she is only an atomic point and not a complete molecule. Now, what is this complete entity that was created from sovereignty? It is the newly created sphere Tifereth, the sacred numbers 6 and 5, the sphere that replaced dot, the sacred number 11, after the Tikkun, both of whom are beauty, one caught between the other. Why should the Blessed Holy One have contemplated all these things? Because the Blessed Holy One was lonely, and the throne of his glory was at risk. Therefore the Blessed Holy One contemplated no more after the 6 creations, and moved in all directions from a single point of blackness, which is nothingness. What does the Kabbalah mean when it says that the throne of his glory was at risk? The Kabbalah means that the footstool of the throne of God's glory was in jeopardy. What does the Kabbalah mean by the footstool and that the footstool was in jeopardy? Let me explain through an indirect channel. It means that the Blessed Holy One brought forth free will into the universe through the breaking of the inner vessel, which is the sacred number 20. And the inner vessel was broken into the dark light, which is dot, the sacred number 11, and into the good light, which is Yesod, the sacred number 9. Then Yesod, which is the footstool, was stored under Malchut, which is the throne of God's glory, because Yesod lost 1/10 of his splendor to Dot. This is what the Torah means when she says, "The God of judgment said, 'Let there be light.' And the God of judgment saw that the light was good, and the God of judgment separated the light from the darkness. For as it is spoken from the masters, the Blessed Holy One created light from darkness and judgment, Gavura, and separated the good light from the dark light, and light matter from dark matter, and concealed the good light under the throne of his glory from the darkness, but only for a time." This is the meaning of the footstool Yesod. But what are we supposed to understand from this Kabbalah? That will be explained in part 2 of this lesson.